Welcome to the 2026 SWS International Finals. On the legendary karting circuit of Le Mans. The ultimate battle.
Well, hello everybody, once again, welcome to Le Mans. Welcome to the final day of on-track activity here at the Saudi World Series International Finals. For those of you that have been with us all morning and indeed all last night and yesterday and the day before, you have seen some incredible racing, Eric Sellis.
Yeah, incredible racing, and as we saw a few minutes ago, the final lap of the 24-hour race was almost crazy because everything changed for the top 3 to top 5th position. So yes, it was totally crazy, and I guess now we will have a lot of action on the track because we are now racing for the sprint, and all the categories will be very, very, very tough.
Yeah, indeed. So the format for today, each driver in the Masters Cup, the Women's Cup and the Sprint Cup have a superheat. Those points are added to the points they've scored in their heat races on Thursday. You forget what day it was. And then the points are added together. All 35 drivers make it, and we have then the finals. It's not a case of who crosses the line first. It is an accumulation of points scored over every single race. The drivers are getting ready, but Eric, what are the drivers getting ready to tackle? Quite simply, they're getting ready to tackle one of the best kart circuits, not just in Europe, but anywhere in the world. The Circuit International Kart Le Mans.
Yes, indeed. And then the race, will be held as usual, 30 minutes race time plus 1 lap. This will be for the superheat. And then after we will have a break. Then we have a sprint final for C, sprint final for B. It will be the same, 13 minutes plus 1 lap. And then after we will have the final. And the final will be run as 16 minutes plus 1 lap. So actually, it's not only this morning, but for this end of this morning and the beginning of the afternoon, we'll have a schedule as 13 minutes plus 1 lap for each superheat. And we will see what's going to be on track and what will be the best driver, because for sure for sprint there is 3 groups, A, B, C, and for sure there will only be 35 pilots allowed to race the big final.
The big final indeed. There are going to be, as you're looking at the number of corners, we have got 13 turns, 1400 meters there. On standing up, that's your race director, Manuel Branco, instructing the drivers. So this is Superheat A. It's not the fastest 35. Again, they're split. So the first 4 drivers in points at the end of the heats, they will be the 4 drivers, or the 3 drivers, because there are 3 superheats that start from pole position in each of their races. They will do a full rolling lap, just to get some heat into the tyres. These sprint karts are not the karts that were just used in the endurance race, so they have been sitting silently watching the endurance since Thursday evening when we finished the heat races. Alejandro Florido will start from pole position. Jules Van Hoel from Belgium on row number 2. Kuba Dvernitsky from Poland on row 3. Bastien Mounier from France will start P4. Teruki Nobi from Japan. Davis Zalmans from Latvia. Konstantinos Nusapoulis. Konstantinos Nusapoulis' younger sister, Agaliki Nusapoulou. She was racing in kids yesterday and did very, very well, didn't she?
Yeah, exactly. She did very well, and she was maybe on the top 10 position, if I'm not
mistaken.
Yeah,
I think so.
I guess.
I saw her finish 10th in the final. I don't know what left her overall.
Yeah, and now all the drivers are on track just to try to warm up as much as possible the tires. They will be stopped before the grid position, and then they will rejoin the grid position, and maybe it will be a rolling start.
No, it's going to be it's always a standing start. They're giving the carts a lap to just get themselves warmed up. They haven't been run for over a day. So there we are, Alejandro Florido. Please, on the live chat, on the live stream, we appreciate all your comments. It may be a little bit trickier for myself and Eric to have a look at the live chat during the course of today, for the simple reason that each race just matters that little bit more. We will do our best to keep you up to date with the points standings. 3 Sprint Cup Superheats. This is Heat A. Drivers. Sit and wait and ready to go. Some of the drivers down at the back of the field, their chances of making the main final, the A final, are slim to non-existent, but they're all racing for it's all points, all ranking points. You know, Sodikart, they do rank every sprint driver from 1 to 105. So every position in every race counts.
Voilà, on est parti maintenant dans le schéma des courses de vitesse, puisqu'on va commencer avec la catégorie sprint pour le groupe A. C'est la Super Hit groupe A. 13 minutes plus un tour. Les pilotes ont effectué un tour de chauffe. Ils sont maintenant sous les ordres de la direction de course. Et pour accéder à la grande finale, bien évidemment, c'est les positions qui vont compter, les points marqués. Et on verra évidemment à la fin quels seront les 35 pilotes qualifiés pour la super finale de cet après-midi. On est sous les ordres de la direction de course, visiblement. Voilà, on va remettre le kart, ce qui me semblait un petit peu logique, parce qu'il était un petit peu en travers dans l'idée de partir directement à l'intérieur de la ligne droite. Et dans quelques instants, ça va être les départs. Il faut regarder le directeur de course ou son adjoint avec ce drapeau. Une fois que le drapeau vert sera agité, on sera parti pour 13 minutes, plus un tour. Attention. Et c'est parti.
The green flag drops. We're off and racing. Pole sitter Alejandro Florido has the lead already. One driver, the number 95, Teruki Nobe, getting squeezed onto the grass under baking hot, clear blue skies here at Le Mans. The superheats are underway already. Karts taking to the grass, going in through turn number 2. Now we're into turn number 3. A great start for Florido. Drivers in the middle of the pack falling off track as we go through Curve des Duchamps into turn number 5 and turn number 6. There's a driver at the back of the field. I think that might be Laurent Cote in the Birrell Art race suit, having a terrible start. Canada dropped to the back of the field, but it is Florido leading Jules Van Hoel into P2, so the 2 front row starters maintain their position.
Voilà, c'est parti avec un très bon rythme pour les pilotes qui occupaient la première ligne de la grille de départ, Alejandro Florido et Jules Van Hoel, le pilote espagnol et le pilote belge, qui vont boucler ce premier tour avec dans leur sillage Kuba Dvernitsky, qui est le pilote polonais. Voilà, et il y a un trou déjà d'effectué entre ces 3 premiers, alors que Rosic, le numéro 66, est déjà averti. Le numéro 66 qui était un petit peu loin, il était en 28e position, Mako Rocic, et qui est donc averti dans ce premier tour. Et vous le voyez, comme avant-hier, hein, on va assister à des courses par paquet, hein, puisque dans ces compétitions de cartes 4 temps, eh bien c'est l'aspiration qui joue un rôle important. Donc l'aspiration de draft, comme on dit en anglais, eh bien c'est ce qui est le plus important pour essayer d'aller chercher, grappiller des positions. Vous le voyez, pour l'instant, on a un trio qui s'est largement détaché. On va suivre avec attention ce qui va se passer. Logiquement, ils vont faire une course intelligente. Ils vont essayer de gérer cette avance au mieux pour s'expliquer dans les derniers tours. C'est un petit peu la physionomie des courses qu'on avait avant-hier ici sur le circuit international de karting du Mans.
You can see the top 3 drivers trying to break away, using the draft, using the slipstream. Florido from Karting Sevilla in kart number 5. Jules Van Hool from World Karts Kortrijk in kart number 49. Kuba Dvernitsky, last year's junior champion from the E1 go-kart in Rockall. Heading into turn number 3. Behind them, a big gap developing. Bastien Mounier, Davis Zalmans, Konstantinos Nousapoulis, Thibaut Petrus, Taruki Nobe, Ilya Udre, Anthony Simon, Miguel Castro, Sam May is 12th, Luis Bobigny, Anthony Malveson, Tom Bernat, Rafa Abina, Luca Corsi, Rafael Drelli, Luca Kokodan, then Jose Antonio San Cruz, Yuki Nanoda, David Varga, Ivan Rodnoy, Nikita Svirin, and in 25th position, Wasif Al-Karousi from the Muscat Speedway in Oman.
Allez, nouveau tour en tête et vous le voyez, hein, on s'est entendu avec Alejandro Florido et Jules Van Hool. Alejandro Florido à la fin du premier tour s'est retourné, il a dit on y va, et Jules Van Hool a hoché du casque pour dire ok, je suis d'accord, je te suis dans la tactique. Et regardez, Jules Van Hool qui fait signe aussi également à Kuba Dvernici de se dire allez, on y va, on profite d'être à l'abri du peloton pour pouvoir creuser l'écart. On ne s'attaque pas, on joue au jeu de l'aspiration, on fait le trou et ensuite on aura le temps de s'expliquer.
I like that. As they cross the start-finish line, Jules Van Hool looks over his shoulder and just nods to say, okay, Kuba, work together. We'll get this Florido chap out of the way. Let's see what happens. 8 minutes, 50 seconds to go. They fly through turns 6, 7, 8. Out onto turn number 9, the banking. Now, through turns 10 and 11, the flick back section. Right, left, onto the Chemin au Boeuf straight. Track temperatures were getting up to over 40 degrees. Into the Virage de Technopark. Now, Pitts Bend, and out to the Curve de Restaurant. The Curve de Grandstand, the Tribune corner. And will we see Van Hool look around and try and communicate with Dvinicki this time? No. Dvinicki takes a wider line. That's deliberate. He's now going to get a better run. Yep, look at that. He gets his nose cone onto the rear bumper. Push, push, push. Van Hool gives him a little nod. They are now 2.4 seconds up the road. Pulling clear of the chasing pack. It's still Bastien Mounier in 4th place. Zalmans, Udre, Nousapoulis, Nobe, Petrus and Simon. The rest of the top 10.
Voilà les 3 hommes de tête, hein, qui continuent d'accroître leur avance. Il y avait 2 secondes d'écart il y a 2 tours. Maintenant cet écart est de 2 secondes 460 sur le dernier des 3 pilotes de tête. Et qui mène la chasse? Eh bien c'est Bastien Meunier, le pilote numéro 17, Bastien Meunier, qui tente de réduire cet écart, mais ça va être compliqué parce que vous le voyez, il est très loin maintenant. On est revenu derrière lui et évidemment au jeu des aspirations, lui doit faire le travail tout seul. Et ça risque d'être tout simplement mission impossible pour revenir sur les leaders, à moins que ces derniers finissent par ne plus s'entendre. On est à moins de 7 minutes maintenant du terme du temps réglementaire. Pour l'instant, tout le monde joue le jeu, que ce soit Alejandro Florido, Jules Van Hool ou Kuba Dvernici. Mais attention, les ambitions de chacun vont monter petit à petit, alors que c'est Anthony Malvezin qui vient de réaliser le meilleur tour en course. Anthony Malvezin qui est pour l'instant pointé au 12e rang sur la ligne de chronométrage. Donc pour l'heure, tout va bien sur le trio de tête, mais attention, les ambitions de chacun vont prendre le dessus dans quelques instants et ça pourrait évidemment chambouler toute la physionomie de cette fin de course.
Anthony Simon, a 3-second penalty for push to pass. That drops him from, let's have a look, it drops him from 10th to 18th position at the moment. Looking down at the back of the pack, no change up at the front. Sam Hines from Adrenaline Sports Queensland is 35th. Koi Maranan from City Kart Racing in the Philippines is 34th. Rafael Liebhardt, Travis Alters. Travis from IndyCart at Eastgate runs 32nd. Laurent Cote from SRA Karting is 31st. Christian Salvet from Estonia is 30th. Alexander Rosenbaum, Jakub Madiratsa, Dmitry Kuskenko, Marko Rosic, Nikita Sverin, they are all down towards the back of the pack. But it is Spain, Belgium and Poland who lead the way. Then a gap of 4 seconds back to Latvia's Davis Zalmans and Estonia's Ilya Udre. Go-Kart Centre Thessalonikis, Konstantinos Dusapoulis runs in 6th. Bastien Mounier drops to 7th. Out of the Chemin Aubouf straight. Now, for the first time, Alejandro Florido looks over his shoulder. 5 minutes to go. That's Alejandro just saying, okay, I need to know who I've got behind me and how many I've got behind me. And if it's possible, to try and see how far the next pack. And look at him signalling now. He's saying, right, come on, calm down, let's keep pushing. Van Hool and Dvinitsky will say, okay, Alejandro, we'll push you for a little bit.
Was not so easy. A few laps ago, we saw Van Hool say, moving his head, say, okay, we go together. But this time, when Alejandro looking behind over his shoulder, Van Hool didn't move the head. So he's ready to fight now, Van Hool, I guess.
Yep. They know that, but they know two things. They know they cannot stay like this. They have to battle. They also know that if they start to battle too soon, then the rest of the pack, who are currently 4 seconds behind, will close in. And they will.
Allez, c'est toujours le trio qui est constitué de Alejandro Florido, Jules Van Hool et Kuba Dvernici qui mènent les débats avec maintenant une avance assez confortable, 4 secondes d'avance sur le reste du peloton. Et évidemment, maintenant, on va monter et on va rentrer dans le money time. Voilà, Alejandro Florido qui essaye de rassurer, de se rassurer même en disant « Bon allez, on continue, on attaque, on y va ». Histoire de dire on va pas s'attaquer maintenant, ça serait trop bête, mais je pense que Jules Van Hool et Kuba Dvernici qui depuis quelques tours a établi le record du tour en course, ne demandent qu'une chose, c'est que la course monte en intensité et derrière on a un changement en tête du groupe de poursuite puisque c'est Davis Zalmans désormais qui est aux commandes de ce groupe de poursuite. Bastien Meunier, lui, a rétrogradé en 7e position.
Now we look back at the second group, the number 24 car, Davis Zalmans, briefly in 4th place. So for the first time, Kuba Dvinitsky feigns a move. And another look over the shoulder from Alejandro Florido. And Van Hool gives him a little signal saying, no, I'm still working with you. At some point, though, Van Hool is going to have to start getting into Florido's head and staying there, living in his head rent-free, I think is the phrase, as they head down. Dvinitsky tries to look around the outside. He's going to get a great run. He's got Orion Van Weiss's race suit on, and look at that push. Now, will we see Van Hool look to the inside? No, he says not yet. But Dvinitsky knows that he could get a good run. If I were Florido, I'd be watching for a move going into turn number 3. It's not the most obvious place, but it is a move. If you get to the inside, you could really push the driver you're passing wide onto the curbs.
Allez, les choses vont s'animer. Maintenant, il reste moins d'1 minute 45 à parcourir, plus le tour supplémentaire. Et là, Alejandro Florido commence à beaucoup trop se retourner pour évidemment voir que les choses en restent ainsi. Et regardez, Jules Van Hool qui commence à se décaler. Et pareil pour Kuba Dvernici. Kuba Vernici, ça fait 2 tours maintenant qu'il essaye un petit peu de trouver une ligne un petit peu différente pour soigner les accélérations, soigner les sorties de virage. Et à mon avis, on va rentrer dans le vif du sujet. Dans ce tour, à mon avis, on va avoir des attaques dans ce tour.
Now we see Florido begin to defend. He had a jig to the inside. Dvernicki's going to get a great run coming out of the corner. No, he's not, because he runs wide. Dvernicki makes a mistake. Dvernicki makes a mistake and drops back. Now it's a head-to-head for the time being. Dvernicki's not out of it yet, but Dvernicki cannot afford to do that again. Through Curve de Duchamp we go. Still Florido leading. The gap is 3.8 seconds. Back to Zalmans, Udre and Nusapoulis battling behind.
Allez, on est toujours aux avant-postes et attention, ça y est, ça commence à monter en puissance avec Jules Van Oel qui se décale sur Alejandro Florido. Et là, on peut aussi attendre une attaque de Kuba Vernici qui fait signe, mais visiblement, on n'est pas tout à fait sur la même longueur d'onde entre les 3 pilotes. Vernici sur Van Oel, Florido toujours aux commandes, et on va rentrer peut-être dans ce qui sera le dernier tour.
No,
one more lap. It's not the last.
Not the last lap. Yeah, so 2 laps to go now. They cross the line with 5 seconds left on the race clock. Now the clock strikes 0. Next time, and that's a better run from Dvernicki. That's what he needed to do. Here comes Florido. Oh, Dvernicki to the outside. Florido defending. Watch for the crossover from Dvernicki, but he's got no room. Can't make that move stick. Through Curve de Duchamp. Next time by, they'll get the 1 to go board. The gap back to 4th place has dropped to 3 seconds. Zalmans, Udre, Nusapoulis are coming, and they're catching quickly as Florido defends onto the banking. Dvernicki gets a run. Can Dvernicki pick up 2 for the price of 1? No.
Ça s'anime en tête, et on voit bien que Alejandro Florido est en train de défendre. Il prend les trajectoires intérieures, et pendant ce temps-là, eh bien, ça revient derrière. Le groupe de chasse revient, et attention, et Jules Van Oel qui en profite, parce que là, effectivement, ça a été un petit peu du grand n'importe quoi pour Kuba Vernici là, qui a plongé à l'intérieur alors qu'il était en perdition, et du coup il a envoyé paître, c'est le moins que l'on puisse dire, eh bien Alejandro Florido qui a tout perdu. A priori ça ne va pas rester sans sanction, parce que je pense que cette manœuvre elle était un petit peu trop ambitieuse.
Florido defended too deep. Dvernicki almost went round the outside, was then forced onto the curb. He bounced back into the path of Florido. This gives Jules Van Oel an opportunity, a golden opportunity. And look at Zalmans, look at Udre closing in. Out to the banking for the final time. Dvernicki tries the crossover. Kuba Dvernicki on the banking. A Slim Shady for the race lead. Coming off the banking. Side by side. Wheel to wheel. Oh, they're going to go in very deep. Look for Davis Zalmans. And look for Ule Idre. And Nusapoulis is there as well. It's going to be Kuba Dvernicki. What a race.
Et victoire de Kuba Vernici qui s'impose finalement après eh bien, ce début de course qui semblait limpide pour Alejandro Florido et Kuba Vernici. Et finalement il s'impose, le pilote polonais. Reste à savoir ce que la direction de course va décider, parce que au tour précédent ça a été un petit peu chaud entre Vernici et Alejandro qui a perdu énormément de place. On va voir ce qu'il va être décidé, mais en tout cas ça risque de peut-être changer la physionomie de l'arrivée. En tout cas Jules Van Oel lui termine deuxième et devrait être forcément à l'abri d'une sanction vu son comportement dans cet avant-dernier tour. Je pense qu'on ne va pas en rester là. On va voir ce que ça va donner. Pour l'heure, c'est Kuba Vernici qui s'impose devant Jules Van Oel et Davis Zalmans en 3e position. Ilya Udre prend la 4e place et Konstantinos Nousopoulos termine 5e. Anthony Malvezin est le premier Français classé en 7e position.
Well, let's have a look at the highlights of this race. Good start for the pole sitter. The front three on the grid able to slot into place. Van Hoel coming across, and Dvinitsky almost gives him a little bit of room. Now there's number 17 kart, that's Bastien Mounier, and there we go. There is the news. Kuba Dvinitsky is given a penalty, a 3-second penalty, and that drops Kuba Dvinitsky to 8th position and provisionally hands the win to Belgium's Jules Van Hoel. But we'll see what led up to that penalty coming very soon. Also a penalty for Louis Bobigny as well. The top three got away very cleanly. Bastien Mounier, that's where Bastien Mounier exit stage left. They're all trying to sort themselves into a position, and Florido getting pressurized more and more and more. Here comes Dvinitsky. Now that's a good line. So this is where Dvinitsky, is this the lap he got it slightly wrong? No, this is the lap he got it better. That wide entry into turn number 1, the Curb de Restaurant. This is where he slides wide, and that's where he lost a bit of ground. That shows how easy it is just to miss your apex ever so slightly. Now, this was the defence. Into the closing stages, Van Hoel getting alongside, briefly getting in front. They lean on each other, but nothing outrageous. And this now, Dvinitsky. Look at the way Dvinitsky, on the anchors, tries to cut back. Oh no, this wasn't this lap. He gets squeezed wide there. There's going to be a lap where Dvinitsky, this must be the lap. Dvinitsky trying to go round the outside. He gets to the inside, coming down, coming off the banking. This is coming off the banking where Dvinitsky tries to pick up 2 for the price of 1, and he almost does it. Now, Alejandro Florido into Dvinitsky. Dvinitsky onto the curb. Kart cannons back into Florido, and that gives Van Hoel the edge he needs. Where did Florido finish? 5th eventually. Now Zalmans, you can see, coming into play. Wheel to wheel, side pod to side pod, bumper to bumper, out of the chicane, up towards the banking they go on this occasion, looking over. So Dvinitsky on the brakes, runs a bit wide. Yes, he does, not quite. There is the white crash helmet. That is Udre, I think, coming through, and they cross the line. And Florido, somewhere in the pack, not happy. But penalty for Kuba Dvinitsky. Race 1 win unofficially goes to Belgium.
Alors, on a revu les meilleurs moments de cette première super hit pour les pilotes de la catégorie sprint et le groupe A, avec évidemment les images des 2 derniers tours où les choses se sont un petit peu envenimées, c'est le moins qu'on puisse dire, et donc cette attaque que l'on pourrait entre guillemets qualifier d'un peu suicidaire de Vernicci, et qui lui a valu donc cette sanction qui lui ôte la victoire et qui, on va dire logiquement, revient à Jules Van Hoel, donc qui s'impose dans cette première super hit. Nous sommes maintenant avec les pilotes qui vont disputer la super hit B, toujours dans la catégorie sprint. Ils attendent évidemment que la direction de course leur donne le feu vert pour rejoindre leur machine. Et ensuite, on sera parti, donc vous l'avez vu, comme précédemment, un tour de chauffe. On revient sur la grille et ensuite, c'est le départ pour 13 minutes plus un tour. Here we are with the drivers of the second super hit B, Group B, for the sprint category. All the drivers are quite happy, actually, talk together, waiting for the race direction to allow them to join their kart.
And that's Ian Anderson in the black and green there. He's got his translator because he is profoundly deaf. There is the Aruban team. That's Amaury Maduro. Do you know what? If there's ever a race suit that reflects the country, this is it. Bright yellow for the sand, bright blue for the sea. Oh, how much would I give to go to Aruba? I think that would be very, very good indeed. And we watch as the rest of the drivers get ready to be put into their karts for Superheat B.
Alors j'ai une petite rectification à faire, contrairement à ce qu'on a vu tout à l'heure. Effectivement, maintenant que les cartes sont montées en température, eh bien il n'y aura pas de tour de formation. On va tout de suite venir se positionner sur la grille de départ et ensuite partir pour la course. So I just want to make little more information. Just made a little mistake. There will not be a warning lap because all the karts running now after one race.
Yes.
So they exit the pit grid
straight onto the grid.
Straight onto the grid and then straight onto the race, into the race.
Oh yes. Well, there's the KF1 karting circuit logo. Now, for those of you who haven't watched the endurance, I will repeat myself. So that's the driver from Singapore. That is Adam Heng from Singapore. No, sorry, that was Ma Yan Ting from the KF1 karting circuit. The KF1 karting circuit has been sold for housing, and the drivers from Singapore may not have anywhere to race outdoors in the entire country. Just think of that for a minute. Your country does not have a single outdoor kart circuit. Imagine that. Remy Stellin, meanwhile, is there. That's a very colour-coordinated race suit and helmet. Moving further up, that's the number 75. That will be driver from Lithuania, Orestas Bulgaria. At the front of the field, it's another Belgian, Orion van Weiss, and the number 33 of Giovanni Giarantana. The number 68 kart, that is Matteo Agassiz from Switzerland, and then the number 28, Emil Forker from Germany, on the outside of row number 2. Orestas Bulgaria, Ian Anderson, Remy Stalin, Bobby McGurr, Loic Martin, Martin Guerard, Thomas Caillet, Anthony Coulon, Alan Segal, Yevgeny Kutstyasov, Dominic Surin, Nico Tich, Stilian Ralchev, Andres Leipnix, Bimo Aji, Adam Heng, Nikita Miserva, Ma Yan Ting, Yves Normand, Andrei Bolshakov, Eros Marucci, and the rest.
Orion van Weiss va donc partir en pole position avec à ses côtés Giovanni Giaratana, le pilote italien qui est à ses côtés. Derrière eux, on va retrouver Matteo Agassi et Emile Forker. Le premier pilote français à s'élancer, c'est le numéro 82, ce sera Rémi Stellin. Et c'est parti, c'est parti. Good start for the Italian driver from the front row, Giovanni Giaratana. But will he be able to maintain this position? No. Oh, they're running wide. Be careful because at the inside there is another driver, number 68, Matteo Agassi. Oh, and there is a
big collection of drivers running off there. Oh, that's can't see the number. That's one of the Latvian drivers. That could be Andres Leipnix, you know. Looking down, that's a Latvian race suit. Andres Leipnix, karting.lv indoor circuit entry. But what a lead for Orion van Weiss up at the front.
Allez, c'est parti, on l'a vu, hein, un très bon départ de Giovanni Giaratana depuis la deuxième position de la grille. Malheureusement, il a voulu garder cette position, ça a été un petit peu compliqué, ils sont partis un peu au large et finalement, eh bien, Van Weiss en a profité pour s'échapper. Et derrière, eh bien, c'est tout de suite la bagarre, hein, vous le voyez, au freinage du virage du Technopark avec le numéro 68, Matteo Agassi, qui est en train de prendre la deuxième. Ah non, pardon, c'est pas le 68, c'est le 28. Autant pour moi, c'est le numéro 28. C'est Emile Forker, Emile Forker qui est donc en deuxième position. Et derrière, eh bien, on retrouve Giovanni Geratana qui finalement a perdu une place, même un peu plus, parce qu'il est en quatrième position désormais. Geratana qui avait semblé réussir son départ et qui finalement, eh bien, à vouloir résister, a perdu plus de place qu'il n'en a gagné. Et il vient également de se faire doubler par le numéro 37, Jan Anderson, qui prend la cinquième place. Voilà. Et devant, eh bien, pour Orion Van Weiss, pour l'instant, eh bien, ça se passe pas mal. Il se retourne pour voir un petit peu l'écart qui est le sien. Mais là, il va avoir du mal à construire, je pense, son échappée, parce que ça va revenir forcément sur lui. Derrière, on roule en groupe, on roule de façon coordonnée. Et voilà, la jonction est quasiment faite avec le leader sous l'impulsion du numéro 82, à savoir Rémi Stellin, le Français. Tout de rose vêtu, Rémi Stellin qui a pris un très bon départ et qui a réussi surtout un très bon premier tour. Voilà. Et du coup, eh bien, Van Weiss, lui, joue la carte de la coopération. Mais pour l'heure, eh bien, Rémi Stellin, lui, ne l'entend pas de cette oreille. C'est lui qui est aux commandes maintenant de la course. So, change in the front of the race with a new leader with the French guys. Rémi Stellin who is leading now. And passed through Van Weiss at the first corner, and then Van Weiss was asking for teamwork, but Stellin doesn't want to obey in a way, and he took the lead, and then now he's opened the road in a way to maybe what it could be podium finishing for these top three drivers. We will see if it will be possible. If they are working together, they could break away. We will see if it's gonna happen. There is a small gap now, and we will see if Stella, Van Weiss, and Forkel are able to make a big breakaway and fight for the victory at the end of the race.
I was going to say, Remy Stalin, meet the Forkers. Emil Forker, former kids champion, junior champion. Oh, there is Orion Van Weiss making the move. Look at some of the endurance teams still here watching from every single vantage point possible. The three leaders, a 109.7 for Emil Forker. Ian Anderson is there in fourth for the Faroe Islands. Then it's Janantana from the front row of the grid back to fifth. Agassiz, Coulon, Gerard, Bobby McGurr is ninth. Kutsiasov is 10th. Then it's Burgalia, Teach, Sigal, Espen Assa, Bimo Aji, Mariucci, Svatnoy, Norman, Ralchev, Miserva, Maestre, Surin, Hrant, Suryan from Lebanon in 23rd. Going back down the order, Joao Maduro has had a terrible start. He's dropped to 35th, just behind Esbjornsson Wowbagger from Sweden. Evan Danaswara, Ko Qi, Lim Adril, Ma Yan Ting, 30th for Singapore. Singapore have three drivers in this race. Adam Heng is the best placed of them, 28th, and Ma Yan Ting and Lim Adriel. Ko Ki-yu is from the LYL International Kart Circuit, the brand new circuit in Kuala Lumpur, which has a crossover and everything. That's a really, really good track. But Stalin continues to lead the way. Now, this looks exactly like Heat 1, Heat A, Superheat A. Look like three drivers all playing nice at the moment. But there's 7.5 minutes to go, and they're not going to play nice forever, are they? Are they?
Yeah, you just say it's playing well for the moment, and for the moment it's a very important word because for sure we will have some fight before the end of this race. Pour l'instant, Rémi Stellin, il est toujours aux avant-postes. Voilà, c'est lui qui ouvre la voie avec dans son sillage Orion Van Weiss et Emile Forker. Les trois hommes pour l'instant qui s'entendent, hein, c'est ce qu'on expliquait avec Henry. Henry qui disait que pour l'instant ils travaillent ensemble, ils travaillent de concert. Mais évidemment, comme on l'a vu lors de la première manche, ça ne va peut-être pas forcément durer encore très longtemps, puisque les trois hommes maintenant, après avoir collaboré, ils ont construit quand même une avance, 2 secondes 4 d'avance pour Emil Forker qui ferme la marche de ce groupe de tête sur Ian Anderson qui mène la chasse. Et donc 2 secondes 4, ça commence à être intéressant. Mais encore une fois, il ne faut pas se précipiter, ne pas tenter d'attaquer trop tôt pour et ensuite se faire rattraper. On l'a vu sur la super hit précédente, les hostilités ont commencé un peu trop tôt, ça a commencé évidemment à fermer les portes, à changer les trajectoires et de fait le groupe de chasse est revenu et ça a explosé dans le dernier tour. Donc est-ce que Rémi Stellin, Orion Van Weiss et Emil Forker ont retenu la leçon et vont travailler de concert jusqu'au dernier tour? Eh bien c'est toute l'interrogation qui réside dans cette fin de course. Il reste 5 minutes et 45 secondes plus un tour.
You can see the group of drivers in second position. Sorry, I'm chewing on a Haribo sweet because this has been a long 4 days for everybody. Any little bit of sugar that you can possibly cram down your neck at this point of proceedings to keep you awake is good. Stellin, Van Weiss and Forker. 5 minutes to go. It is now really important that Anderson, Giarantana, Agassiz and Coulon, who are in a 4-car train. Well, actually, no. Look as they come on the bank. 2, 4, 6, 7 drivers chasing these 3. For Anderson, Giarratana, Agassiz, Coulon, Magur, Kutsiazov and Gerard. The top, so 4th place back to 10th place are all in a row. Bulgaria is 11th. Sigal, Teach and Espen Assar are in next place. There's the chasing pack. Everybody behind Ian Anderson, pushing him along. We look at the tail enders coming out of the final corner. And still another group of drivers. Now, where is that bright yellow race suit? There is, sadly, João Maduro, who has had a spin. He has passed Esbjorsen Waubager. And Maduro, that car is 110.4 for Maduro. That's a fast lap. But Remy Stellin does a 109.2. New fastest lap of the race. 4 minutes to go. The gap back to 4th place is still just 3.5 seconds. Anderson, Giarratana, Coulon, Agassiz and Magur are keeping within that 4-second range just when these 3 start battling. In fact, as you look at the coming out of the final corner, you can see that Ian Anderson and Giovanni Giarratana have started to push away from the chasing pack in terms of 6th place on back. So it's now 2 drivers closing in on these 3. Still, Stellin leads. Still, Van Weiss second. Still, this is the Northern European Union. France, Germany and Belgium working in unison, but the union of different nations will break down, I would say, in about 90 seconds time. We got 3 minutes to go.
We will see. Voilà, toujours ce trio aux commandes, toujours Rémi Stellin qui fait le job. Pour l'instant, on reste concentré, on fait un travail d'équipe et derrière, eh bien, on voit que Jan Anderson et Giovanni Giarratana, eh bien, ont réussi un petit peu à s'extraire du groupe de chasse. Ils sont en train de s'échapper. Après, est-ce qu'ils vont pouvoir revenir sur le groupe de tête? Ça me paraît un peu compliqué. Les voici, Jan Anderson qui passe maintenant avec Giarratana juste dans son sillage. Et ça y est, ça commence à s'énerver avec une attaque maintenant de Van Weiss dans le premier virage. Rémi Stellin est désormais 3e puisque Emil Forker en a profité pour passer Van Weiss qui ne voulait pas patienter plus longtemps. Nous sommes à 2 minutes du terme du temps réglementaire plus un tour. Est-ce que Van Weiss a pris la bonne option d'attaquer maintenant ou est-ce qu'il a attaqué trop tôt? Eh bien, on va le savoir dans quelques minutes parce que maintenant, évidemment, il se retourne il sent qu'il a lancé les hostilités et qu'il va évidemment devoir maintenant composer avec les attaques de Emile Forker notamment, qui est en deuxième position. Quant à Rémi Stellin, toujours troisième, il a tout intérêt pour l'instant à rester en dehors de ce duel qui commence à se profiler, parce que encore une fois, on le voit bien, lorsque l'on attaque, et souvent les manœuvres, à l'image de ce qu'on voit actuellement, voilà, Forker qui a obligé Van Weiss à aller au large, et du coup, eh bien, Rémi Stellin va peut-être reprendre le leadership.
Lo and behold, 90 seconds to go, and those hand signals saying, come on, work together. Now, the hand signals like, what are you doing? It's kicked off royally at the front, and Stellin still leads. Forker second. Van Weiss, who led across the start-finish line at the start of this lap, is now, he is now down in third position. And, my timing and scoring monitor just doesn't want to reset. I've had more failures of the live timing in my computer this weekend than ever before. We've got, 30 seconds to go. Stellin, Forker, Van Weiss is your order off the banking. Will they get back to the start? Now, in Superheat A, they got to the start line with about 5 seconds to go. Are they going to get... Has the race pace been just as quick as before? Let's find out. Oh, no!
Once again.
Oh, Forker and Van Weiss. That is not good. And do you know what? Orion Van Weiss. Oh, that's a rental car attitude. You can't do that. You've got to just sit tight. Yeah, you're upset. Get on with it. Stop with the hand waving. Here comes Ian Anderson. Shakes his head. The experience of Ian Anderson. You drive quicker with both hands on the steering wheel. Yes, I know you're upset. Yes, someone just forced you off. But you cannot then start having a tantrum behind the wheel. You have to just wait till afterwards. Wait till you get the slowing down up and then scream and shout and put your hands in the air. Ian Anderson, look at that. He's just shaking his head slightly, carried on. He's up into third place, which could be now the number 29 car. So Stellin, Van Weiss, Forker was your top three. It's now Stellin, Van Weiss, Anderson, your top three.
Voilà, ça s'est un petit peu frictionné et chauffé là entre Van Weiss et Forker, et du coup, eh bien, c'est Rémi Stellin qui en a profité pour prendre le large, et c'est ce que je vous disais tout à l'heure, il était troisième. C'était pas forcément la plus mauvaise des positions, parce qu'on sentait que ça montait entre Van Weiss et Forker, et de fait, eh bien, après cette double passe d'armes, dirons-nous, plus que musclée entre les deux pilotes, eh bien, c'est le Français qui a tiré son épingle du jeu, puisqu'il est rentré dans le dernier tour, Rémi Stellin, et il est en tête, et il a maintenant 1 seconde d'avance environ sur Van Weiss, me semble-t-il, et de fait, il va y avoir des pénalités évidemment d'appliquer. Penalty. Et notamment pour Van Weiss, 3 secondes de pénalité, 3 secondes également pour Emile Forker. Donc pour Rémi Stellin, c'est la voie ouverte vers la victoire.
Well, there you go, and that's both drivers. Yes, they both went over the limit. They've both been penalised. Rémi Stellin, Ian Anderson, run 1-2. Here we go. Rémi Stellin, who keeps his calm, keeps his cool, takes the win. Van Weiss crosses the line second. Anderson in third. Orion Van Weiss, 3 seconds, cutting the track. We wait for timing to update itself, because I think Ian Anderson will grab second place, and I think Matteo Agassiz has got third for Switzerland. Emil Forker crossed the line in P5. We wait for timing to update itself. Other penalties for number 60, Loic Martin from Thailand. That forces him down the order. So, Stellin, Van Weiss, I think though that... Orion Van Weiss, that penalty has disappeared off my timing screens. We will go and find out what that is all about. Emil Forker. He is currently classified 5th in the race. On our screens, it's Stellin, Van Weiss, Anderson, Agassis, Forker, Guerard, Coulon, Jaratana, Kutstyazov, and Bobby McGurr, rounding out your top 10 as things stand. Although I think there might be a little bit of a discussion about some of what we just saw from some of those drivers. I know emotions run high. I have never driven a Saudi World Series event, so I cannot imagine how much hard work goes in. However, in every race, you have to learn how to deal with issues that you don't like. Now, where is Remy Stellin here in the number 82 kart? He is 1, 2, 3, 4. He's the 5th kart in line on the inside. Watch how he makes his move, because it got a little bit untidy in the first couple of corners. Now, we look forward. This is Emil Forker on the number 33 kart of Giovanni Giarratana, making a move. And here's Stellin to the inside of Giarratana, of the Ayrton Senna crash helmet. That is Saudi kart race suit. I think that was Giarratana. Stellin now sets his sight. Another move on the number 34 of Orion Van Weiss. But look at that. Just cool, calm and collected. Forker doing a great job there of following Stellin through. Here comes the 34 of Van Weiss again. This time, Forker being a little bit more. Oh, there is your 5-second penalty on your screen. Orion Van Weiss. Is that a 5 or a 3-second penalty? This is the bit, I think. Let's have a look. Van Weiss, Forker and Stellin. Okay, Forker into Van Weiss. Undeniable. Van Weiss keeps it pinned over the track. Comes back on in the grass. Looks across. To be fair, he doesn't drive into Forker. He tries to defend against Stellin. Stellin gets to the inside. Again, this is... Oh, there's just no room there. And that's where it got a little bit... And I know they're upset at each other, but they've still got a race to try and finish. Ian Anderson picks up the pieces. He has now been put to second. And as I thought, Matteo Agassis is now third. Orion Van Weiss crossing the line there in second place. He has been given a 3-second penalty. He is now fourth. Martin Guerard 5th. Coulon 6th. Giarratana 7th. Emil Forker was given another 3-second penalty. That drops him to 10th behind Bobby McGurr. Yevgeny Kutstyazov, great drive from Yevgeny. He just minds his own business and finishes P8. Georgia look like they're going to put a driver in the main event.
Voilà, donc comme on pouvait le penser, pendant qu'on revoyait les temps forts de cette deuxième Super Hit pour la catégorie sprint, eh bien les décisions de la direction de course sont tombées. Donc Orion Van Weiss, qui avait terminé deuxième, a effectivement été sanctionné de 3 secondes de pénalité. Il est désormais quatrième. Et Emil Forker a repris une autre pénalité de 3 secondes, ce qui le fait maintenant rétrograder au 10e rang. Donc on retrouve Rémi Stellin en haut de la hiérarchie, avec dans son sillage Ian Anderson et Matteo Agassi.
Looking at the drivers for Superheat C. Now, I have been keeping track of the wins. So Saudi Kart give out pole position awards. So for every qualifying session, the driver that was on pole position in every qualifying session gets an award. And then the heat winner, or the winner of every race, gets an award. So I'm keeping track of what nations have won either a qualifying session or a race in all categories: endurance, kids, juniors, masters, women and sprint cup. That, for Remy Stellin, was France's 15th win of the week so far across all categories. France have 15 victories. this week. Spain second with 6. Belgium and the Netherlands are tied on 4. Netherlands yesterday, Mr. Riesma in juniors. He accounted for 3 out of the 4 Dutch awards. The other one was a pole position in the endurance for the Dutch team. So that's a fantastic set of it. And I know that the final of the kids' class of the juniors didn't go the way that Mr. Riesma wanted, but he's scored 3 out of the Netherlands' 4 wins. Ahmed El-Sisi from Egypt, having a few quiet moments with the Lord, I think, just saying a prayer. There is Nagasawa-san. Can't see the ginger mullet, but smiling through his crash helmet. Diego Perez Lara, last year's champion, driver number 1, goes in this race, as does Jack Pot Williamson, the oldest driver in the Sprint Cup category. There he is with a Brazilian race suit. He represents both Brazil, because he was born there, and Aruba, because he lives there. He's been adopted by Aruba. That is, I'm trying to see, Andre Carlos Augusto. Brazilian by birth, Aruban by choice, I think, is the word. Who wouldn't want to go and stay and live in Aruba? Aruba, I believe, and I will get this corrected, it was a former Dutch colony, potentially. So there's an awful lot of a relationship between the Netherlands and Aruba. Aruba's now its own independent nation, but close ties with the Netherlands. Miguel Silva puts on his Danro Aero suit, zips it up. Oh, Bobby McGurr gets a 5-second penalty. That drops Bobby from 9th to 15th. Could that be the end of Bobby McGurr's chances of making the A final? Ooh, that could really be damaging. We have this race, then we have the Masters and the Women's Superheats. Then we have a break before we are into the finals this afternoon. These are going to be 30 minutes. The main events for women, the 3 main events, the 3A finals, 16 minutes plus a lap. Diego Perez Lara looks. Now, he was aggrieved at having a penalty yesterday, and he was still arguing with Manuel Branco, not on Thursday night, last night. And I think it's like, well, no, we're not going to overturn a penalty over 24 hours after we give it. So that's where Diego has to shake that off. I was speaking to Diego and Miguel. They were joking between themselves about who was going to win the whole thing. Well, there's 103 other drivers that have something to say about that as they come out onto the circuit.
Allez, c'est parti pour la dernière super hit dans la catégorie sprint, cette fois pour les pilotes du groupe C. Là encore, 13 minutes plus un tour, et ça permettra après de définir la hiérarchie pour les finales, pour la grande finale et pour les consolantes, dirons-nous, puisqu'on aura une finale C et une finale B dans cette catégorie sprint. Sur la grille de départ, on voit que Miguel... non.
Miguel Silva, Diego Perez Lara, Alexis Mellis on row number 2 alongside Antoine Bernard from Canada, Jack Pot Williamson from Brentwood Karting in the UK, and Fabian Kopp on row number 3. Row 4, Julian Pereira and Sergei Lysix. Tom Donnell, Alexis Vagalis, Damien Marget from Marquez from the Netherlands, and Magic Subinski. Green flag drops. We're off and racing. This is the last superheat in the Sprint Cup. Who is going to make the main event? Who's going to win this race? Canada with a great start, but Portugal lead through turn number 1.
Ouais, c'est Miguel Silva qui a conservé sa position. Pourtant, la meilleure sortie de grille semblait être à l'avantage de Diego Pérez Lara. Mais l'Espagnol a dû s'incliner. Il était un petit peu à l'extérieur de la trajectoire du premier virage. Et de fait, eh bien, Miguel Silva a conservé son leadership. Mais vous le voyez, pour combien de temps, on verra. Parce que quand on a Pérez Lara dans son sillage, avec ensuite Bernard et, me semble-t-il, Alexis Mélis, ça risque d'être chaud, bouillant. Vous le voyez déjà dans le banking. On s'attaque de tous les côtés.
That's Jackpot Williamson, the black race suit, and he was getting the chrome horn out over the curb, sideways, across the grass for Jackpot. He saves it, loses a couple of positions. Yeah, this is an interesting opening lap. Look at that. Silva leads Perez Lara, leads Antoine Bernard. And a warning flag for Jackpot Williamson. Gives a nod of the head, just a warning flag, no penalties, but he now has to tread very lightly. My motto is about that is tread lightly, but carry a big stick. Perez Lara signals to Bernard. Okay, let's work together as they go through turn. There's Sergio Big Guns on the mobile camera. You can almost reach out and high-five the drivers as they pass through. He gets so close to them. Sergio has a problem getting life insurance back in Portugal with WFR Live TV, but he does get really, really close to the carts, which we love.
How many followers does he get now?
Well, here we go. Sergio Big Guns on Instagram. That is the Instagram page for our mobile cameraman. It was set up by WFR Live TV on Thursday. Please, if you get a chance, go to Instagram, Sergio Big Guns. And it's a WFR Live TV account in honor of our mobile cameraman who, in the endurance race, he was literally lying on the outside of turn number 1 so you could see the whites of the driver's eyes at night when they had their clear visors on. Oh, Mr. Schilder gets a warning flag. Hugo Schilder in 15th position as Ilyas Miftakudinov sets the fastest lap of the race. No 3-kart breakaway in this race, Eric Sellis. This is going to be an all-out hack, I feel.
Voilà, une physionomie de course totalement différente après les 2 premières super manches auxquelles on a assisté, puisque là, aucun pilote, aucun groupe n'a réussi à faire l'échappée, à creuser l'écart. On a toujours Miguel Silva aux commandes, mais vous le voyez derrière, eh bien, on est revenu dans son sillage, que ce soit Diego Pérez Lara, Antoine Bernard, et ensuite on retrouve Alexis Mélis. On a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cartes, 7 cartes presque maintenant roue dans roue. Et évidemment, la physionomie de la course va forcément être un peu différente de celle auquel on a assisté précédemment. Pour l'instant, ça se passe pas trop mal pour Miguel Silva. Mais attention, Diego Pérez Lara, à mon avis, il va pas rester derrière très très longtemps.
Now, of course, this is an accumulation of points. So it's not, I mean, for people like Julien Pereira, Alexis Mellis, Jack Williamson, Antoine Bernard, it's not just crossing the line first, it's crossing the line and trying to see if your nearest rivals, the points, Miguel Silva, Diego Perez Lara, finishing down the order. You know, it's no good them finishing second and third. There comes Williamson to the inside on the banking. Antoine Bernard gets dispatched. Back to 4th position. Julien Pereira now close in. We've got a 5-kart train at the front with Melis, Danel, Kopp, Miftakudinov and Lysix still in touch. So is Firas Malek from Jordan and Pablo Petita Vidal. Ricard's Alexis Fagalis in 13th position. The top 9 separated by 1.8 seconds, and the fastest lap of the race goes to the driver in 8th place, Ilyas Miftakudinov.
Allez, on a un regroupement en tête maintenant avec 9 cartes quasiment roue dans roue. On a le trio qui était aux avant-postes depuis le début de la course. Miguel Silva, Diego Pérez Lara et Jack Williamson qui vient de passer en 3e position. Et derrière, eh bien, sous l'impulsion de Antoine Bernard, de Julien Pereira, de Tom Danel, eh bien, on est en train de faire la jonction pour aller contester ce leadership à Miguel Silva. Qui va déclencher le premier les hostilités? Eh bien, c'est parti avec Diego Pérez Lara qui prend les commandes. Je vous l'avais dit au tour précédent, je ne le voyais pas rester très longtemps en 2e position. Eh bien, c'est fait. C'est lui qui prend les commandes de la course désormais.
Diego Pérez Lara, with an assistance from Jack Williamson, takes the lead of this race. Silva tucks back into 3rd. Then it's Pereira in 4th. Tom Danel is now 6th. Antoine Bernard still runs in 5th position. Miftahudinov up into P6. Melis, Danel, Kopp and Lysix, the remaining runners in the lead group. We've seen a few penalties further back. The number 89 getting a 3-place penalty. That is Shinichi Nagasawa. I thought it would be impossible. I mean, Shinichi Nagasawa, great haircut. Penalty, however, as look at the colours flashing through turns 5, through the S's, turns 7 and 8. The kink at 9, the bank at 10. Williamson looks to the inside. Oh, Perez Lara blocks and Williamson tucks back into line. Out of turns 10, 11, down the Sheminobu Straight into Virage de Techno Park. And here comes Miguel Silva. Elbows out. And Williamson back to 3rd. Has to cut across to defend. And we're 3 wide behind. Make that 4 wide. Up the inside comes Alexis Melis to P4. Williamson saying, come on, hurry up, push me. We're back to the same situation. The Iberian partnership, Spain and Portugal working together with Williamson in 3rd. Look how close they get to the apex, just shaving the curb on the inside, not touching it, just giving it almost like a little peck on the cheek, like a mwah, hello, but not getting too involved. It wasn't a full-on smooch, it was just a peck.
Allez, ça bouge en haut de la hiérarchie, vous l'avez vu avec cette attaque de Miguel Silva qui a repris la 2e position. Jack Williamson reste 3e et derrière lui on retrouve Alexis Melis. On voit bien que cette physionomie de course elle ne va pas du tout être comme celle qu'on a vue précédemment. Oh, et attention, Alexis Melis qui reçoit un avertissement et Diego Silva, Miguel Silva qui prend les devants mais qui finalement se fait contrer et c'est Jack Williamson qui en profite.
That was a 2-for-1 special offer. The Iberian connection just tripped over each other. Silva just easing Perez Lara a little bit too wide. Williamson says thank you very much. He hits the jackpot and takes the race lead. But Perez Lara and the number 50 of Julien Pereira are right there. There's a gap back to Antoine Bernard in 4th. Miguel Silva not out of this one yet. Driver number 15 has been given a penalty. Oh, Antoine Bernard has been given a 3-second push to pass penalty. So has Radoslav Mervis and also the number 50 of Julien Pereira. So Pereira and Bernard both have 3 seconds penalty. Williamson, this is his opportunity. It's only him and Diego Pérez Lara battling for the lead. Fabian Kopp in cart number 32 is actually 3rd position, but Kopp is running back in 5th on the road. This is significant. This is really significant. Williamson and Pérez Lara now need to make the break because the number 50 has had a penalty. Pereira is actually, where is Julien Pereira? He's 14th. Such is the close nature with 3 minutes to go. So Pereira is running 14th. He's 3rd on the road, 14th in the race. I'm looking down the order to see where are the other. Well, Antoine Bernard's penalty hasn't been applied yet. Cart number 15. he is still classified third on the timing and scoring sheet. Pereira's penalty has been applied. I think this is a case of that's a definite penalty, or this is, hang on, we need to review this before we issue it.
Allez, ça bouge avec la prise de commande par Jack Williamson, mais derrière il y a eu des rebondissements avec les pénalités infligées par la direction de course, notamment à Miguel Silva, le numéro 70 qui a perdu le terrain, mais aussi au numéro 50, le français qui également a pris une pénalité. Donc attention, cet ordre que vous le voyez actuellement sur votre écran n'est pas le bon, puisque Julien Pereira pour l'instant est en 8e position si on prend les pénalités qui ont été infligées par la direction de course. Donc pour l'instant il est toujours dans la bagarre, il va falloir qu'il fasse fort sur cette fin de course, mais avec cette pénalité en seconde, ça va être compliqué pour lui de rester sur le top 5 de cette course, parce que vous le voyez, les écarts sont infimes, on est toujours roue dans roue, le pack est emmené par Jack Williamson.
Now, Eduardo Bernal Rodri excluded. Now, he did get black flagged from a race on Thursday. I didn't realize that was a complete meeting exclusion, but he is not out there disqualified. Warning flag for Bernard. Now, let's have a little look. We'll have to wait and see. Antoine Bernard is still classified in third. Here we go, 90 seconds or so remaining. Mifta Kadinov, the red top of his crash helmet, getting squeezed wide. Oh, sideways over the curb. He somehow catches it. That was Bernard not giving him any room at all. But then again, Bernard was on the racing line. Kopp in the number 32 cut. Silva is there in sixth. Well, he's classified sixth. So, Jack Williamson leads. Second place on the road is Julian Pereira in cart number 50. He's actually 8th in the classifications. Diego Perez Lara, 3rd on the road, 2nd in the race. Antoine Bernard, 4th on the road, 3rd in the race at the moment. Yes, the warning, the penalty has been rescinded to a warning flag. Then it's Fabian Kopp, Ilias Mitrokudinov, Silva, Melis, Pereira 8th, Danel, Marek Firas, Pablo Padilla Vidal, Ricards Alexis Fagalis, Jakub Olsiak, Ahmed El Sisi 14th, Sergei Lysix is 15th. Mauro Maduro for Aruba cracks the top 20 into 19th for Amaro. Oh, Williamson wide! He's got to be careful. I know that he might help, but he then doesn't want to give himself a penalty. Oh, Pereira's wide. It has kicked off, 1 lap to go. Williamson leads. Kopp is up to second. Where did Fabian Kopp come from?
Ouais, Jack Williamson qui est parti au large parce que derrière, eh bien, il y avait eu une attaque du français, Julien Pereira, qui a été évidemment un peu généreux sur l'attaque, dirons-nous, et de fait, eh bien, il a été sanctionné par le pack parce que comme il était hors trajectoire, eh bien, il s'est fait dépasser par de nombreux pilotes. Lui qui devait prendre le lead pour essayer de se construire une avance pour annihiler éventuellement la future sanction, eh bien finalement il s'est fait piéger, il s'est fait prendre à son propre jeu, et pour l'heure, eh bien c'est la grosse bagarre entre Williamson et Fabian Kopp pour le leadership. Ça va être très très serré, nous sommes dans le dernier tour, et attention à ce dernier freinage au bout de la ligne droite du chemin au bœuf.
Here come the cavalry on the outside. Williamson's got to stand on it, on the brakes, through the virage to Techno Park. Now pits bend. Kopp is right there in second. Bernard and Perez Lara, Mifta Kudinov also there as well. To the line, Jackpot takes the win for Brentwood Karting. Ooh, that was a race. That was a tasty one. Fabian Kopp second. Diego Perez Lara third. Ilias Miftokudinov is 4th. Antoine Bernard 5th. Miguel Silva 6th. Melis 7th. Malik Firas from Jordan, who qualified from the Fun Extreme Kart Circuit in Saudi Arabia, finishes 8th. Then, with his penalty, Julian Pereira, 3rd on the road, 9th in the classification. Pablo Padilla Vidal, Ricards Alex Spagalis, Tom Danel, Jakub Olsiak, Ahmed El Sisi and Sergey Lasix are the top 15. Magic Sobinsky, Maxim Kim, Simon Dolsicki, Damian Marquez, and Amaro Maduro round out your top 20. But there will be several people reviewing several parts of that race. Yes, it was close. Yes, it was exciting. Was it the cleanest race? No. But the drivers, this is desperation time. Now that the drivers can do no more. They have scored whatever points they've scored. Have they made the A final, the B final, or the C final? There are no transfer spots. If you're in the C final, the best you could do is P1 in the C final. That is it. Now, number 51, Carlos Lipovsky, taking a grassy route down past the start. Silva just gets to the inside and takes the lead. Great camera work, I've got to say. The colours just shine and shimmer a little bit brighter in the sunshine, and you can see there's Williamson at the 4th position. And please don't think that I'm being biased just because Williamson is British and I am British. There was a few tasty moments there as well. Williamson got a warning flag, and like I said, there was one moment where I thought, you've got to be careful there, Jack, because Pereira forced him a little bit wide. Now here comes Silva up into P2. A little bit of elbow grease used just to open the door. Pereira and Williamson side by side. That wouldn't be the last time we saw those two carts side by side. Here, around the outside, is Ilias Miftakudinov. And look at Alexis Mellis trying to cut the inside. Alexis Mellis does the crossover as Bernard bounces up onto the curb. Now, Silva taps Perez Lara wide. Williamson just about gets the undercut. Does 2 in one go. Said special offer, 2 for the price of 1. Pereira and Bernard. It's Pereira and Perez Lara in 2nd and 3rd position there. Miftakudinov running 4th ahead of Bernard at this time. And now there is Williamson leading. Pereira at some point will pick up a penalty. I'm not quite sure which incident it was for and if we've got it on replay. Williamson looked good at this point. He was pulling away in the number 42 kart, and woof, over the curb. Miftakudinov getting squeezed like a zit onto the curb. Pereira, is that the moment he had the penalty? But there, Williamson over the curb. Now this is where Jack's got to be careful and upset, angry, but you don't see him waving his hands around. There's the difference with a bit of maturity in the face of the adrenaline, the anger coursing through your veins, but you've still got to keep both hands on the wheel. Just calm down. The officials have seen it, but look at that blanket finish across the line. 8 drivers. Malik Firas, kart number 65. There he is. Fist bump in the air. He knows that's a good result for Jordan. And behind, there's various gesticulations. Some happy, some maybe not so happy. So that concludes, and I'm looking right. Penalties coming in. Driver number 22, Damian Marquez, 3 seconds. Push to pass. Driver number 87, Sergey Lysik, 3 seconds. Push to pass. It does not change the overall result. GB win with jackpot. Please remember, bet responsibly. And that will be the UK's 3rd win of this 2026 SWS World Finals. It puts them into a so it's France, 15 wins and pole awards, Spain, 6 wins and pole awards, Belgium and the Netherlands tied for 3rd with 4 wins and pole awards, and then United Kingdom with 3 wins and or pole awards. A grand total of 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 15 different nations have either won a race or been officially awarded a pole position as the Masters get set to come out.
Voilà, la catégorie Master maintenant que l'on va retrouver. Les pilotes sont en train de revenir, plutôt de se rendre vers leurs cartes qui leur ont été attribuées. Vous allez le voir dans quelques instants, ils vont s'installer avec en haut de cette hiérarchie le numéro 19 qui correspond bien évidemment à Laurent Carrier. Laurent Carrier qui va donc s'élancer en pole position. Il aura derrière lui le numéro 25, Olivier Laurençon, le pilote suisse. Animateur des courses de jeudi. Hier, nous étions vendredi. Voilà, donc Laurent Carrier qui va il va s'élancer en deuxième position. C'est pas lui qui est en pole position, autant pour moi. Il est sur la gauche de l'image, donc à droite de la grille. Donc il sera à l'extérieur du premier virage. L'homme qui va s'élancer depuis la pole position, il est juste à côté de lui. Et les choses sont bien faites puisque c'est le numéro 18 et c'est Kenny Robles. Donc on va avoir une première ligne 100% tricolore dans quelques instants. Well, all the master drivers are ready to go now, and we will have on the front row of the grid the number 18, Kenny Robles, and number 19, Laurent Carrier, for a full French man first row on the grid. There is a problem for number 10. What is the problem for Geoffroy Galichet? Okay, it seems that the problem is almost fixed now. Yeah, I guess so. So maybe we're gonna start now within a few seconds from this Master Super Heat. Voilà, un petit problème semble-t-il pour Geoffroy Galichet à bord de son kart numéro 10. Il avait semble-t-il quelques soucis au niveau du volant. Était-ce pour fixer son écran? Ah, finalement, on va... Ouais, non, finalement, c'est pas au niveau du volant, c'est au niveau du pédalier. Ouais, il semble qu'il y a un problème pour Geoffroy Galichet. It seems that the problem is regarding the pedals. It seems that the one pedal is locked. So will he swap cart or not? No, it seems that everything is fixed. Okay, everything is good now, and Geoffroy Galichet will be able to attend this super hit for the masterclass. Voilà, on a visiblement résolu le problème du côté du pédalier de Geoffroy Galichet et tout est rentré dans l'ordre. On va pouvoir donc donner le départ de cette catégorie master, de cette super hit catégorie master. So it seems that everything is under control now, and the kart will enter shortly on the track and going to stop at the starting grid. Here they are. Voilà, les pilotes qui sont sortis de la pré-grille et qui vont donc maintenant s'arrêter sur la grille de départ pour l'avant-dernière super hit, puisque juste après les masters, eh bien, nous aurons les féminines. Alors là, ça sera un petit peu moins compliqué pour les masters, hein, puisque ça va déterminer les positions pour la finale de tout à l'heure, hein, puisqu'ils sont 36 au départ. Et donc, on va déterminer les positions pour la finale en fonction des résultats de cette super hit. On va vérifier quand même et on surveillera quand même le numéro 10, Geoffroy Galichet, pour savoir si ces problèmes sont vraiment définitivement résolus. Attention au départ. Watch out.
Now we have a space in the middle of the grid there. One row on the inside is missing, so one driver, Ricardo Ribeiro from Portugal, not taking the start. Lights are out. Kenny Robles has the lead early on.
Et c'est le numéro 19 qui a pris le meilleur départ, Laurent Carrier, qui, depuis l'extérieur de la première ligne, a réussi à plonger le premier en tête dans le virage à gauche après la ligne. Oula, attention, là, ça part un peu n'importe comment, là, dans l'herbe pour un concurrent. Heureusement, il a réussi à contenir son kart et revenir assez rapidement sur la piste. Mais là, ça commence à devenir un petit peu chaud, là, pour certains. Alors, il me semblait que c'était Laurent Carrier qui avait réalisé le meilleur départ, mais j'ai un doute parce qu'il m'a semblé voir un numéro 19, là, un petit peu dans le cœur du peloton. Est-ce que j'aurais raté quelque chose Ouais, il semble que ce soit Kenny Robles qui ait repris les commandes de la course. On va attendre que les deux pilotes repassent sur la ligne.
This is Robles and Carrier.
Oui, voilà, Robles et Carrier, le 18 et... Non, le 19 et le 18, c'est bien ce que je disais. C'est bien Laurent Carrier qui est le leader.
Now, Carrier, currently second in points. Robles is your points leader at the moment. And we'll be able to give you all the point standings as the superheats now progress. The single grid fields. Up in the third position, Virgil Monami, Olivier Laurentian, Mikhail Ubermulin, Sebastian Delorme, Brice Nguessan, Andrea Rocco, then Geoffrey Galichet and Laurent Quendo. Fabrizio Anello, 11th, but he's very quick. Watch out for driver number 8. Although he had a penalty, he was excluded from one race, so that means he's not got any chance of winning. Jose Francisco Gonzalez, David Tovin, Joel Foray, Johan Harise, Stefan Bossier, and Gustavo Martins Zimmerman. We have 3 Frenchmen, a Swiss, well, we have 6 Frenchmen and 1 Swiss driver covering the top 7 positions at the moment. Kenny Robles, he can afford to sit behind Laurent Carrier in this race. He can't afford to do that in the final because there's more points available in the final. And Laurent Carrier, Thomas Burchard making a good move there. Was it too good a move? The number 32, Thomas Burchard, he gets a penalty. 3 seconds penalty. That pushes the American back to 15th position.
On est bien parti là côté Laurent Carrier et Kenny Robles, puisque vous le savez, avec ces résultats, on va déterminer l'ordre des positions pour la finale, parce que évidemment, on va rajouter ces positions et ce résultat aux résultats obtenus précédemment, puisque je vous rappelle que jeudi, il y a déjà eu des manches de qualification, et pour l'instant, eh bien, c'est Laurent Carrier qui mène la course, mais au cumul des points récoltés, eh bien, c'est Kenny Robles qui est actuellement en 2e position, qui est aux avant-postes du classement. Donc voilà, c'est un duel à distance entre les deux hommes. Est-ce que Kenny Robles va laisser la victoire à Laurent Carrier, ou est-ce qu'il va essayer de tenter de s'imposer? On verra ça, parce que après, ça sera le Money Time dans la finale qui aura lieu cet après-midi, bien évidemment. Pour l'heure, Laurent Carrier boucle un nouveau tour en tête, avec Kenny Robles dans son sillage. Un petit peu plus loin, on retrouve Virgile Monami et Olivier Laurençon, le pilote suisse. Donc 3 pilotes tricolores aux 3 premières places, et ensuite Olivier Laurençon qui voit derrière lui Michael Ubermulin mener la chasse pour revenir sur le duo qui est devant lui. Il y a 5 cartes dans son sillage.
Out of turn number 5. Through the chicane at 6 and 7. Now the kink at 8 out onto the banking. The black race suit with the bright turquoise blue leggings and sleeves of Laurent Carrier from PMS Passion Karting. Robles from Brignoles Karting. Mon Ami in kart number 34, representing Circuit Berdery. Now a French 1-3. Olivier Laurencon, the super driver, backed driver from the MK Circuit in Switzerland. He is there in the number 25 kart. He's got a new race suit today, has Olivier Laurencon. Coca-Cola sponsored by Olivier Laurencon. So new colours. I suppose in this type of competition you're allowed to change race suits just to make life difficult for the commentators. We get used to commentating on Laurencon with his black super driver race suit with the chrome lettering, and then he pops up for finals day in a Coca-Cola sponsored suit.
he signed the deal during the night.
Ah, yes, okay, not a problem at all. They saw, well, Coca-Cola PLC watching the Sony World Series finals, I'm sure from their HQ in Atlanta, Georgia. I think that's where they're based. And why not sponsoring Olivier Laurencon?
And you know, now road racing are allowed now in Switzerland.
Yes, it's allowed,
So
finally.
finally. So that's the reason why Coca-Cola came.
And of course, because you mentioned that's a very, very good point. Road racing in Switzerland was banned in 1955 due to the tragic accident that happened here at Le Mans at the start line in the 24 hours that killed 80 plus spectators. And it's only just been reinstated. There are some kart circuits. I've commentated on the Swiss Rotax Max Challenge, but race circuits, none. There used to be one called Bremgarten, which was fearsome. The Swiss Formula One Grand Prix, which was held as recently as 1982, was in Dijon-Prenois. Yeah, Keke Rosberg won the Swiss Grand Prix. But now road racing finally allowed on public roads again.
We will see if, for example, if there is a round of World Rally Championship, for example.
Okay, yes,
it could be an opportunity, but for sure for road racing and permanent track, it could be a little bit tricky in the next few years.
Yes, and the same in the UK. Public roads racing on public roads in the UK. Only the Birmingham Super Prix back in the 1980s was allowed in the UK. Well, that's NIMBYism in the UK. Everyone wants to watch it, but not in NIMBYism, not in my backyard. Great Britain, the British people are fantastic for that. Oh, we like it, but not near us. Not near us. We don't want to be disturbed.
Is that the reason why they go racing at the Isle of Man?
Yeah, because
it's far from their backyard.
Well, it's its own independent principality, Isle of Man, part of the UK, but independent principality. Same in the Northwest 200 in Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland, part of the UK, but not the mainland UK. That's why we have, and they have hill climbs in Jersey, one of the Channel Islands. But that's a history lesson for another time. We're looking at Laurent Carrier and Kenny Robles. Nothing has changed since we went down a little historic rabbit hole. Gustavo Zimmerman Martins in car 11, 3-second penalty, push to pass. That drops him to 25th. And Fabrizio Anello still only 10th. The top two clear. The lead is very spread out in this race, I have to say. Kenny Robles, there he is, sitting behind Laurent Carrier. At the moment, Robles would have 164 points. Oh, what's he waving for? That's the thing, I don't want anybody online to say, what's this commentator on about? I do appreciate the talent on display here. What I don't understand, and it is a rental kart thing, you don't see just as much waving of the hands in two-stroke owner-driver racing. I think obviously they put their hands in the air to try and say, did you see that? Did you see that? Well, there are officials. There's a series of cameras here on track. The officials, let them do their job. They're qualified. They don't see everything. But it certainly, it doesn't help you go any faster. In fact, if you're taking your hand off the steering wheel to shake your fist at another driver, that means you've taken your focus or a percentage of your focus off what you need to be doing, and that's driving. And it can't help you. It won't help you. But Virgil Mon Ami now closing in on the Coca-Cola sponsored Olivier Laurencon. Brice Nguessan, 109.682. He is there in 6th position. I spoke to him, he said, is it Bryce or Brice? And he said, right, in English people say Bryce, but in French it's Brice. So he said, you can say Bryce. I said, I'm not English, I'll say Brice. It's Brice Nguessan in 6th position. Chasing Sebastien Delorme, Virgil Mon Ami, Olivier Laurencon, Kenny Robles, and Laurent Carrier.
Allez, pas de changement en tête de la course avec toujours Laurent Carrier devant Kenny Robles. Et derrière, eh bien, on a un autre duo avec Olivier Laurençon, le pilote suisse, et Virgile Monami, qui sont toujours roue dans roue, mais qui n'arrivent pas à faire la jonction, même si on voit ici Olivier Laurençon essayer de se rapprocher. L'écart visuellement a un petit peu diminué. Puis derrière Virgile Monami, eh bien, on retrouve Sébastien Delorme et Brice Guessant, qui sont eh bien 5e et 6e. Voilà, on a des petits duos sur la piste, mais pour l'instant pas de changement, pas d'attaque, pas de problème. Et voilà, il suffisait que je le dise pour que eh bien Kenny Robles pointe le bout de son kart à l'intérieur de celui de Laurent Carrier. Ça n'est pas passé pour cette fois, mais voilà, le duel est lancé.
At the moment, the title will be decided between not the race, but the overall title is between these two drivers. 164 points for Robles, 156 points for Carrier. I'm sorry I don't have the points breakdown of how many you get for each race in front of me. It's available on the Saudi World Series website. If you look at the kids, the Sprint Cup, you'll see the results on the SWS website. That will give you an idea of how many points. I don't have those figures in front of me, but Carrier is 8 points behind Robles, but he's 15 points in front of Laurent Con, and Laurent Con is another 8 points in front of Virgile Monami. So if these two drivers play it smart in these next 50 seconds plus a lap, they can effectively make the final, make the championship here between just the two of them. If they start battling, if they start slowing each other down, tripping over each other, maybe getting themselves penalties for pushing to pass or something like that, then that simply brings Laurent Con, Monami, and even Geoffrey Galichet, who is 5th in points at the moment, it brings them into contention, not just the race, but for the actual main event later on.
Allez, Laurent Carrier qui est en train d'accélérer, hein. Il est en train de creuser un petit peu l'écart sur Kenny Robles. Kenny Robles qui, pour l'instant, eh bien, est resté sagement derrière Laurent Carrier pendant toute la course. Et là, je pense qu'il est en train d'accélérer Laurent Carrier pour se mettre définitivement à l'abri, parce que il reste encore deux tours à parcourir. Est-ce que Laurent Carrier, qui a pris ses petites longueurs d'avance, va être à l'abri jusqu'au bout? Rien n'est moins sûr, parce que derrière, eh bien, Olivier Laurençon revient très très vite sur Kenny Robles. We can see at the front of the race that
yes.
Laurent Carrier made a small gap, but Olivier Laurençon is quite fast now and is closing the gap on Kenny Robles.
And I have to say, this is a really, really important lap and a half for Olivier Laurençon. He needs to make a move. If he passes Kenny Robles, he closes the gap to Robles in the points standings. It's a cumulative event. Robles, maybe a mistake, maybe the kart going off. Laurent Con saving the best to last. He looks to the inside virage to Techno Park. Nothing happening there. On the start-finish line, Alain Delcroix has one finger in the air. One lap to go. And Laurent Con, well, Robles saying, come on, let's push. Laurençon needs to make the move, however. Sitting there in third isn't going to help Laurent Con. Karts travelling 4 wide into turn number 1. That's for about 10th, 11th position on back. That's Anello, Boissier, Rocco, Quendo and Joel Foray. There's the move from Laurençon up a curve des Duchamps, Eric.
Voilà, Olivier Laurençon, voilà, on le sentait venir. Il a pris le meilleur dans cette ce dernier tour, parce que c'est le dernier tour. Est-ce que Kenny Robles va être en mesure de rendre l'appareil? Oui, ça semble être le cas dans le banking. Oui, il sort, il reprend la deuxième position, Kenny Robles. Attention au freinage au bout de la ligne droite, Olivier Laurençon qui semble un petit peu plus rapide, mais regardez, Kenny Robles qui est à l'intérieur depuis le début de la ligne droite et qui va fermer la porte. Est-ce que ça va suffire, ou est-ce que Olivier Laurençon au prix de l'aspiration va pouvoir passer sur la ligne.
Now that move at the banking for Kenny Robles. Well, Carrier takes the victory. Carrier with the victory. Robles second. Laurenton in third. And they cross the line. There's a fist bump between Brice and Gessan and Sébastien Delorme as they take fourth and fifth. Virgil Monami is sixth. Galichet, Ubermoulin, Anello and Rocco round out your top 10. Joel Foray, Boissier. Now, this is what I meant. Kenny Robles, he put a move on Olivier Laurenson on the banking. It was for second place. It looked like there might have been a little bit of bumper-to-bumper action, so to speak. If Kenny Robles, let's have a look. For example, well, do you know what? The gap. Even if Robles is given a 3-second penalty, I'm not saying he is, but a 3-second penalty for Carrier or Robles or even Laurent Con, for whatever they've done, they were still far enough ahead of everybody else, it wouldn't affect them too much. The top three finishing 4.5 seconds in front of Nguessan, Delorme, Monami, Galichet, and the rest. Penalty for Thomas Burchard. He still comes back to finish 16th, however, which is really good indeed. I'm going to look down the order. Ricardo Ribeiro, a non-starter, 35 drivers. Let's have a look now. The race was very spread out from the start. I wonder why that could have been, because it happened right at the start of the race. Now you can see, there's the number 13 driver, Juan Grise, sort of hacking away at the steering wheel. Anello in the bright green and white crash helmet gets to the inside, but Carrier untroubled. What a great start. 3 kart lengths in front as they come through. Now, this is looking a bit tasty. And there's that's the 15 of Jordi Plana. The 10 kart of Galichet getting shown the door. Laurenson and Robles continue to battle. I'm looking to see if we're going to get any penalties appear on the screen. This is Laurenson up the inside for second place. Well, and again, look at that. A little bit of bumper action there. So, okay, fair enough. And there was the end of the move on the banking, where Robles moved Laurenson up. Maybe that was the phrase 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, which means it's the same. That's a score draw, 1 apiece. Robles puts the door handle to Laurenson for second. Laurenson puts the door handle to Robles for second. Robles puts the door handle to Laurenson to retake the place. Laurent Carrier, arms aloft, and that is a great performance. We've got 1 superheat to go. It's for the Women's Cup, and this has been a wide open class, I have to say. And there's Laurent Carrier. Yep, he's got lots of love, so much love to give at the moment by Laurent Carrier. Oh, the Women's Cup, drivers waiting. I have to say, for those of you that only tune in for the sprint racing, there was one all-female team in the endurance, Puissance Féline, and at one point, out of 48, they were up to the 25th position. I think they finished just outside the top 40 eventually, but certainly another, a real set of role models. And you're looking at another set of role models. There's Sandra Gomez, the Auto Hebdo Sport backed driver. She's doing some modelling work for Danro. You can see there is a smile from that is Rosanna Mazziano. And big waves, not everyone wants to wave, that's Carla Fadei in her zone. And there, giving a stretch in the turquoise and orange, that is Laurence Benoit. Laurence Benoit, the oldest driver in the women's field, age 59 years young. Crouch cover, having a sit down, not crouching, just sitting. Very good.
Voilà, les pilotes féminines qui attendent évidemment les consignes de la direction de course pour rejoindre leur carte, pardon, alors que l'on découvre les cartes, les casques. Pas mal de casques qui se ressemblent, notamment avec celui-ci en dominante rose, comme ça, utilisé par plusieurs pilotes. Et on a vu entre guillemets, la doyenne, si l'on peut s'exprimer comme ça, Laurence Benoît, qui est la pilote la plus âgée sur le plateau de cette SWS Finale Women, avec donc un âge, comme le disait Henry avant-hier, un âge qu'elle ne cache pas, 59 ans, comme quoi bien le sport mécanique, ça conserve. Amber Anders ici en train de discuter avec... Une autre pilote. Voilà donc pour ces féminines qui attendent maintenant de pouvoir entrer en piste. Avec dans quelques instants donc cette super hit pour le dernier rendez-vous vitesse de cette matinée. Une matinée déjà bien entamée puisqu'on est à un petit peu plus de 13h et 13 minutes. Donc voilà, ça ne saurait tarder maintenant puisque le départ est censé être donné à 13h14, me semble-t-il, si je regarde le timing précis. Oui, effectivement, 13h14. Donc on va voir tout ça. Il y aura évidemment encore 13 tours à parcourir, plus un tour supplémentaire qu'on ajoutera à la fin du temps réglementaire. Ensuite, il y aura une petite pause pour le refueling et pour permettre aux pilotes et aux officiels qui ne l'ont pas encore fait de prendre une petite pause pour déjeuner. Et ensuite, on rentrera dans le schéma des finales avec tout d'abord la finale sprint C, la finale sprint B, 13 minutes pour plus un tour pour ces deux finales que l'on peut considérer comme des consolantes. Et ensuite, on aura les finales master, woman et sprint. Voilà donc pour le programme qui nous attend pour cette poursuite de l'après-midi ici au Mans sur le circuit international de karting. Voilà, les pilotes sont en train de rejoindre leur carte. Elles vont s'installer, faire leur réglage, adapter aussi les poids, mettre les poids qui leur ont été imposés par les contrôles. Et on voit ici Laurence qui va elle aussi rejoindre son karting pour prendre part à cette super hit catégorie féminine. Laurence Benoît, voilà, que l'on suit ici, qui porte le numéro 19. Carte numéro 19, donc pour Laurence Benoît, vous le voyez à droite de l'image. So here they are all ready to fight for the last super hit race of this Saturday morning. We have the women category, and you can see there is a lot of drivers, 35 drivers at the start of this super hit women category. And we will be starting very soon for the last race of this super hit series. It will be as the other 13 minutes running time plus one extra lap. And on the front row, we will have the number 30, Sandra Gomez, the Spanish girl, and beside her, Nicole Protivova from Czech Republic, who will be sharing the first row of the grid.
Yep, and temperature heating up. There is, as I want on this here. So there are people on there. There are people. It's so hot outside. There are some people who are literally pouring bottles of water over their coats, over their shirts, and then putting them on so they've got cold water just to keep their temperature down. There is a black husky who must be the hottest paddock pooch here. However, the husky was up on a chair overlooking the wall. The husky, it's a French husky because it's supporting. It's got RKO around it. But again, you know, if you have a dog here, and there are several pooches here, please keep your man's best friend a dog. A man's best friends, they need plenty of water in these temperatures. The Women's Sprint Cup comes out onto the circuit. Sandra Gomez, Nicole Protivova on row number 1. AA Bardet, it's Carla Fardet and Sofia Simbal on row number 2. Alice Dolsamane, Leila Zapeno on row number 3. Row 4, Yulia Shipchak and Heidi Draganic. Amber Ebers is on row number 5 alongside Florentine Modric. Then Leah Tynekar, Mariana Fedorchuk, Vanessa Lariu, Sarai Garcia, Ines Krauchkova, Alina Sements, Mida Michelunate, Anastasia Tereshchenko, Ralista Gadeva, Connie Fluze, Melody Roban, Natalia Sidigana, Erika Spinsate and Anya Barrett. They are your front runners then. Lebanon's Celine Tabchouri. You've got Marciano next, and then Belgium's driver Aliona Palchik, Chiara Jesbirt, Rosanna Marciano, Michelle Aesop. There's the green flag in the air, Eric.
Yeah, it is. Et c'est parti pour cette super hit woman avec Sandra Gomez qui finalement eh bien, va conserver le leadership alors que derrière elle eh bien, c'est Protipova, la pilote tchèque qui s'installe en deuxième position. Ça a été un tout petit peu chaud avec Carla Fadé me semble-t-il, qui a résisté un petit moment avant de devoir céder cette deuxième position. Et on va tout de suite regarder qui est aux commandes, mais il me semble bien que c'est Sandra Gomez qui a effectué un départ parfait. Normalement, on doit retrouver les deux pilotes de la première ligne aux avant-postes. Ouais, c'est le cas. Et derrière, on a effectivement Carla Fadé, la française, qui est en troisième position.
Elbows out in the pack, Sandra Gomez. She leads the point standings at the moment by 10 points over Nicole Protivova. Carla Fadé third in points. And we'll get an update on the points when they come across the line. 2, 4, 6, a breakaway at the front. Ooh, 3 wide. That was a little bit... elbows sharpened. That's Alice Dolsamane. Well, she's learnt a lot from her brother Thomas Dolsamanis. And she's up into second place, but that was a little bit dicey. Nicole Protivova is third, but look at Sandra Gomez. Into turn number 1. Stolsamane, second for Latvia. Protivova for the Czech Republic in third. The Czech Republic and Latvia have yet to open their account. Oh, Stolsamane has already... I thought that might be the case. Unfortunately, Alice Dolsamane given a 3-second push to pass penalty. So she's running second at the moment. We haven't even, we've completed 1 lap. Stolsamane now back in 13th position. That drops her to 6th in points. And Sandra Gomez leading has a 15-1-5 point lead over Protivova, and Protivova is 11 points ahead of Carla Fadé. This is now Sandra Gomez's title to lose. She's just got to keep her head calm and cool in these roasting conditions. Alice Dolsamane, her best bet is to get on the rear bumper of that number 30 kart and push for all she's worth and push away. That will help Dolsamane.
Voilà, on voit toujours Sandra Gomez aux avant-postes avec dans son sillage la numéro... je cherche le numéro 4, pardon, elle est en 11e position au classement général parce qu'en fait elle vient d'écoper d'une pénalité de 3 secondes suite à son attaque un petit peu suicidaire au freinage de la ligne droite du chemin au bœuf au terme du premier tour. Donc pour l'instant elle est pointée en 2e position sur la piste, mais avec cette pénalité de 3 secondes elle est un peu plus loin dans la hiérarchie. C'est donc Nicole Protivova qui est en 2e position, Yulia Pchipchak en 3e position et Carla Fadé désormais avec le kart numéro 7 2016 est pointée 4e alors qu'elle occupe évidemment la 5e position au classement virtuel sur la piste.
Oh, Stolsamane to the inside. New leader on the road at least. Alice Stolsamane. They come out of the final corner. Sergio, you'll see him in the back of your camera shot there. On the outside, our mobile cameraman just finding new angles to film these races. Stolsamane leads, and she's now 10th on the road with penalties applied. Another penalty for Hanna Greta Suvimar from Estonia. She is further down the order. Celine Tapchouri from Lebanon up into 20th position. Stolsamane leads on the road, but it's Gomez and Protivova who are second and third overall. They're first and second in the point standings, first and second in the race when penalties have been applied. But don't count any of these ladies out in the front 5 or 6. Carla Fadey, Yulia Shipshak, Mariana Fedorchuk and Sofia Simbal. 3 drivers from Ukraine in the top 6. Top 7 on the road, and Amber Ebers is up into P7.
Amber Ebers, ouais, 7e pour l'instant, qui est en train de remonter, mais qui, évidemment, avec les pénalités, va remonter d'un cran en 6e position. Et du coup, c'est un petit peu paradoxal parce qu'on a la leader, Alizé Stolserman. Wow, là, ça s'excite encore un petit peu. Et on joue en fait la victoire là, derrière la numéro 4. La numéro 4 qui va devoir évidemment tenter de creuser l'écart pour annuler en quelque sorte sur la piste les 3 secondes de pénalité. Là, si ça commence à se frictionner de la sorte derrière elle, eh bien, elle va y parvenir sans encombre, parce que là, on est en train de perdre du temps. Sandra Gomez est en train de remettre un peu d'ordre dans le groupe, mais attention parce que du coup, eh bien, pour la numéro 4, eh bien, Alizé Stolserman, ça pourrait lui permettre d'annuler ces 3 secondes parce qu'elle est loin devant maintenant.
It's just as well these go-karts do not have door handles, because this group would have just ripped every single door handle off all their karts. Great 2 and 3 wide action, a little bit physical, but we are at the business end. Look at Stolsamane. Okay, Alice, you're now up to 7th overall with your 3-second penalty. This could work out into her favour, because if Sandra Gomez, and Gomez has got to be careful because she was getting a little bit physical with some of her rivals, she can't afford a penalty because she leads the points. She leads the points by 15 points over the driver directly behind her, the grey and black race suit, white crash helmet, Nikola Protivova. A 3-second penalty for Gomez here for any sort of infraction would be catastrophic. And she's defending Protivova, and this is great news. Okay, we got 6 minutes to go. I'm going to put my head on the block here. Alice Stolsamane is going to win this race on the road and in timing as well, even with a 3-second penalty, because this group are chopping and changing, falling over each other, and Stolsamane is clearing off. Look at the Latvian go. Knees up. New school down the straight. We were discussing whether old school, where you tuck down behind the steering wheel, new school, where you lean back, put your knees up to let the airflow go over the top of your crash helmet, and then you've got the up and under, where you grab the steering wheel from underneath and hold the top of it as you crouch down. Old school, new school, or up and under. And Alice Stolsamane going new school, these drivers going old school on the straight. Carla Fadey in the black race suit, white crash helmet. Follows Yulia Shipshak. And Stolsamane is up into 6th position. Stolsamane's got to gain another 1.2 seconds on the chasing pack to get the win overall. But Gomez has now broken clear from these 3 ladies. And Shipshak moves into 3rd position on the road. Protivova back to fourth. Fadej runs fifth.
Allez, attention, hein, on a toujours sur la piste la numéro 4 qui passe la ligne de chronométrage en tête. Elle remonte évidemment au classement parce qu'elle doit compenser ses 3 secondes. Elle est désormais 5e. Derrière, on a vu Sandra Gomez s'extirper un petit peu de ce groupe qui commençait à devenir un peu trop, on va dire, pressant et un peu trop indiscipliné. Voilà, je cherchais le mot. Eh bien, Sandra Gomez, elle est en train d'accélérer la cadence pour se mettre à l'abri et puis peut-être revenir tout simplement sur Stolsermané, pardon. Et derrière, eh bien, c'est la bagarre avec Yulia Ptitchak, Nicole Protivova et Carla Fadej pour les places d'honneur. La française Carla Fadej qui passe à l'attaque maintenant, qui gagne une position sur Protivova et qui va tenter maintenant de conserver cette position, mais ça n'est pas le cas. Protivova qui revient à l'intérieur, la contrer au moment où elle rentre dans la ligne droite du chemin au bœuf. Attention au freinage, de ne pas commettre d'erreur. Carla Fadej qui reste très propre au risque de se faire contrer par Amber Eber.
Well, I maybe spoke too soon because Sandra Gomez is now catching Alice Dolsamane hand over fist. She gives Dolsamane a thumbs up. This could be Alice Dolsamane's chance, maybe second. But the battling behind Gomez has given Gomez now, she has a 23-point lead over Protivova. Carla Fadej with this move. Oh, dearie me. Oh, Fadej. That could be game over in terms of it. Oh, somebody gets jettisoned on the grass. Is that Nicole Protivova? I think it could be. That could be game over for Protivova's chances of winning the title later on. I'm looking down. Warning flag for driver number 27, Nicole Protivova. But Sandra Gomez have the rest of the ladies handed the title to Sandra Gomez on a silver platter. She closes in on Stolsamane. Stolsamane must know she has a penalty, so work together. Up into third position on the road, second in the race is Yulia Shipshak. There is Shipshak in cart number 35. Down the main straight. And Protivova it was Nicole Protivova who was off the track and she's dropped out of the top 20. Now it's Carla Fadej who is second in points, but 27 points behind Sandra Gomez. Since we went to this new system back after 2023, 2024, 2025, we've used this system, the accumulation of points. Fadej gets a warning flag but not a penalty. I have never seen in any class a driver carry a 27-point lead into the main event. Sandra Gomez, well, it's been so close. Gomez has been able to stay out of trouble, and that has been the key. Stolsamane is now third in points, 28 markers behind Gomez, provided Stolsamane stays where she is, because Stolsamane is now third overall. Look at the gaps developing. Stolsamane third, Carla Fadej runs in fourth, Amber Ebers is fifth, Draganic sixth, Simbal, Mikulinate, Sarai Garcia and Mariana Fedorchuk round out your top 10.
Allez, c'est la bagarre en haut de la hiérarchie parce que bien, Sandra Gomez est revenue chercher la pilote qui s'était échappée mais qui avait été pénalisée de 3 secondes, Alizé Stolsermané, qui va peut-être réussir à grimper sur le top 3 de cette course. Derrière, c'est Yulia Chipchak qui pour l'instant est pointée en deuxième position, et Carla Fadej, la française, qui maintient toutes ses chances, puisque si elle termine à cette position, eh bien elle sera en deuxième position du classement général à l'édition des points des différentes courses, deuxième au championnat. Donc elle aurait évidemment une belle course et une belle carte à jouer lors de la finale pour monter sur le podium définitif. Allez, on va rentrer dans le dernier tour pour Sandra Gomez, derrière la pilote Alizé Stolsermané, qui pour l'instant garde le leadership.
Carla Fade might just have done the most important lap of the week for her so far. She sets the fastest lap of the race, and that moves her into third place overall, ahead of Alice Dolcemane, who has that 3-second penalty. At the moment, Fade will finish third by 0.04 of a second. If she can stay within 3 seconds of the driver in the Sodi Kart race suit and the pink and purple crash helmet, Alice Dolcemane, who defends from Sandra Gomez. Gomez looking for a way past Dolcemane. She doesn't need to pass. Does she know that she's been given a penalty? She must not know. Dolcemane is possibly costing herself third on the road. Yes, she has. Carla Fade's within 3 seconds. Gomez is going to take the win. Not on the road. Oh, Dolcemane squeezing Gomez. She takes the win. Gomez second. Shipshack will finish third on the road. Second in the classification. Carla Fade does beat Alice Dolcemane to third place. And she almost drives Dolcemane off the track. Says sorry, it was by accident. They were both waving, but at different places. Heidi Draganic is fifth. Amber Ebbers is sixth. Sofia Simbal, Meda Mikulinate, Sarai Garcia, and a top 10 run for Anya Barrett. Well done. Unofficially, very unofficially, Sandra Gomez will take a 24-point lead over Carla Fade into the main event. 24 points. Insurmountable? No. Improbable? Yes. That was another good race, and that is Spain's 7th win in an official qualifying or race session this week. They will not catch France. France will finish this week with the most official wins of anyone on home track. And I have to say that after Spain and France battled it out in Campillos last year, Spain and France have battled it out again this week at Le Mans. And this is some of it. Look at Carla Fade sideways. Now, we're watching the highlights. Eric Sellis and myself will bid you farewell for the time being. There is a 30-minute break, and there's Protivova. Her day was about to go from bad to worse in the grey and black race suit. So, at the end of this race, we're going to take a short break. 30 minutes. Eric Sellis, the next race will be the first of the finals, starting at 2 p.m. local time. In fact, 25 minutes to go. I cannot wait.
Voilà, on va se quitter sur ces images des meilleurs moments de cette dernière super hit catégorie Women. On va marquer une petite pause d'une trentaine de minutes et ensuite on va se retrouver pour rentrer dans le schéma des finales. On commencera par les finales sprint C et B et puis ensuite ce seront les finales master, woman et sprint bien sûr. Voilà, on compte sur vous. Rendez-vous dans 30 minutes pour la suite du programme.